detention! Hello everybody, welcome to Pastel Sheep. Today I am going to do a story time. Yay. Okay, so let's start off. I have had a horrible week. I will start off with school on Thursday, Wednesday. What day of the week is it? Today is Wednesday. So let me start off with yesterday. Okay. So here in Indiana, the world of corn and endless miles of fields of corn and beans. We have been having a lot of snowstorms. And yesterday was kind of bad. I first start off, usually I get rides to school in the morning from my friend and my boyfriend. And it wasn't until last minute that I was told I couldn't get a ride from them, which is no big deal. I usually can get a ride to school if they can't give me a ride. So I wake up my mom and I say, I don't have a ride, Mom. She's like, oh, okay. So she warms up the car and it takes about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to warm up the car because it is so unbelievably freezing out. And the car doors usually get frozen shut and you can't open them. So I spent about another 5 minutes trying to get into the car. And we head off. And everybody, I'm not even kidding you, there is a line from my house to the school of cars waiting to get to the school. So we're driving, and everybody's driving so slow, mind you, because the roads are kind of slippery. And so we get to the school, and our school has changed a lot over the last 4 years that I've been there. And we start earlier, and they have like 3 bells, I guess, in the morning. And there's a bell to tell you, hey, you should probably get up, get ready, get to your class. And then we have a minute bell, where we have 1 more minute until we have to get to class. And then we have the bell where we're supposed to be sitting in our desks, waiting for our teacher to teach us whatever the heck they want to teach us. I get to school right as the minute bell rings. I don't even go to my locker, I don't even take off my coat, I don't even get my stuff. I had to rush there to get to class on time, classroom, and sit down. The minute bell, or the last bell rings, and I was on there on time. I was there on time. I sit down, and I'm getting out my Chromebooks, because now we have Chromebooks, and I'm logging in, and then my teacher says, Bree, you have detention. I go, why do I have a detention? Why on earth would I get a detention? This is your 3rd tardy. I take my Chromebook, slam it shut, and I say, what the f***? So next, after that, she tells me, you also owe 5 packets due by the end of this day. If you don't turn them in, you will get an F in the classroom. And I say, okay, I will do these 5 packets for you by the end of the day, even though I have so much other work to do. I was absent a week earlier on Friday, and I guess I missed 5 packets. I also missed a lot of physics homework that I had to do, that I was doing during the whole day and at home. Sorry, my cat is being her this day isn't going as well as I thought, but you know, I'm sure it will get better. So what I do is I get on my Chromebook again, because I guess I didn't have to take the detention that day. And she also had us do projects that were due the very next day, today. And that was halfway done, and I still had to do that. So I go to the next class, which is choir, and that saved my day, because choir usually does. And I'm like, well, if choir went well, I'm sure the rest of the day will go well. After my choir class, I have physics. And I do all my packets in physics that she wanted me to do. I do them, and I got them all done, and each packet, each worksheet, after I was done, I would put it right next to me, right next to my books. And when I finished the last packet, I'm like, thank the Lord, and I set it next to my other packets. But wait! Where were my other packets that I just finished? I start searching through all of my stuff. I'm panicking, the bell rings for lunch, and I'm rushing, I'm counting my papers, and no, it was not to be found. I only had one packet that was done. So I'm like, okay, maybe somebody who sits next to me took it by accident, and I'm like, I'll try to find him at lunch because we have the same lunch, and I can't find him anywhere, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, I need to freaking eat. So I go get my food with my boyfriend, and I wait in line. I grabbed salsa, jalapenos, and as I sit down, the little cup of salsa spills all over me. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, I gotta clean this all up. It's all over my white pants, and it's in an area, you kind of get it. So I'm standing there, I'm freaking out. My boyfriend's like, you gotta calm down. And I'm like, don't even with me right now. I am walk to my next class, and my next class, I love the teacher, but she has a student teacher teaching the whole class. She wasn't in the class the whole time. So I'm like, okay, I need to talk to my first hour teacher about these packets. She told me to come see her, 4th period or something. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can get a pass to go to her class. So I'm sitting there, and he's giving us, the student teacher, more crap to do. Like, you guys gotta get this done today. And then I'm like, okay, I'm panicking. I start to have a panic attack. And Mr. So-and-so, can I go see my first hour teacher about my packets so she can talk to me about them, because she told me she wanted to see me this period. And you know what he says to me? But during passing period, you have time. You have enough time to go talk to your teacher about your packets. Whatever that means. It was a work day. He didn't have any lesson plans that day. It was a work day, and it was our time to use to do whatever we needed to do to get done for that class and for other classes. So I'm panicking, I sit back down, and it is obvious that I am going insane because I am hyperventilating, I am crying, I'm sitting there trying to get my work done, but I couldn't because I kept thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail this class, I'm gonna fail that class, I'm gonna fail all these classes. So I get up and I'm like, I need to go to the nurse's office. So I hand him my planner and I'm like, Mr. So-and-so, can I please go to the nurse's office? Can it wait? Obviously could not wait. I was literally standing in front of him, hyperventilating. My eyes are literally swollen from crying. And I give him my planner because he's like, fine. And he's like, fill it out. He throws me my planner. I fill out my planner for the pass. The nurse's office was on the other side of the school. Our school is pretty big. And on the way there, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Everything's going black around me, and I didn't know what to do, so I sit down in the nurse's office. She's like, oh my god, are you okay, Bree? And I'm like, no, I am having a panic attack. What do I do? She's like, just sit down for a bit. She gives me some water, and I'm like, I sit there for about 20 minutes and I'm like, I'm not going back to that classroom when I'm done sitting here. I am going to my first hour teacher to talk to her about my packets. So I go, after 20 minutes, to my first hour class, and in that class, my boyfriend is in there. They were teaching government, and I go up to her, and she's like, "Hey Bree, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm doing what you told me to do. I'm gonna talk to you about these packets." I had all of them done. She's like, "Can you wait for a second? I need to do this thing. So why don't you sit in the back of the class for a bit, for about 5 minutes, and I'll get back to you." I sat in that class for 30 minutes waiting for her to tell me when she was ready for me. I sat there, and she wasn't teaching her class. She was sitting there on the computer the whole time. It was her work day too for that class. And I'm like, okay, when is she gonna talk to me? Should I go up there? She never got back to me. So my boyfriend turns to me, he's like, "Why don't you go up there and talk to her?" I'm like, okay. She's like, "Why are you in here again?" I looked at my boyfriend and like literally I was mentally telling him, "Come up here and help me explain this to her. Last hour will save me from this awful day." Because my last hour is Mr. Power. I've mentioned him in my other videos. He's a really cool guy. And I'm like, I can tell him about this amethyst I'm about to get because he's really into minerals and rocks and crystals and stuff. So we get to class and he usually does his thing. He's like, "Does anybody have any interesting topics they want to talk about?" I raise my hand. I'm like, "Mr. Power, I'm getting amethyst soon." And you know what he does? I was so excited about showing Mr. Power, or telling Mr. Power about my crystals. And that is the response. So the next day, you know what happens? I break my glasses. Literally. I don't know what happened. I was gently cleaning the lenses. I'm like, oh, alright, these are dirty. I need to clean them now. And one of these things completely breaks off. Mention also during the week, I dropped my phone. I think it was yesterday actually. I dropped my phone and it shatters. It's cracked again. I cracked it again. So yeah, that's how my week has been so far. I hope next week is so much better. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I make new videos every week. The link to my last video is in the description below. Give it a look-see. So I plan on making more videos soon. I plan on actually making a video game video. Try saying that 10 times fast. I can't say anything. I can't even say anything very well this speed. I'm a mumbler. I am an awkward speaker. So stay tuned for that. Also, I plan on introducing a new segment called Mystical Mondays, and I will be talking about crystals and how to calm yourself if you have anxiety and what I do and what different techniques. And I can do like advice and I can answer questions if anybody has questions. Planning on saying if any of you guys who are watching want to talk to anybody or don't know how to talk to anybody and need advice on like anxiety or depression or something, I am open to talk and give advice. My Twitter, you can message me privately on my Twitter account. I am always free to chat. I usually answer within that day or the next day. Pretty quickly. I answer pretty quickly to anybody who texts me or messages me, especially about that stuff. So if you need advice, please check it out, check my Twitter out and message me. And yeah, so that was my video. Good night.